Welcome to the Speed Lab. Today we are going to complete the lab Fast Walk, Slow Walk from your science book. It says, you think you walk quickly. Your friend thinks you walk slowly. How can you agree about a person's speed? So we're going to find out. So first thing we need are those materials. You're going to need a meter stick, masking tape, stopwatch, calculator. You have options with this lab too. So if you don't have some of these materials, you can improvise or find something else you could use. I happen to have meter sticks because I have all of my teaching supplies. So I use 2 meter sticks and chalk instead of masking tape to mark 10 meters. If you don't have a meter stick, you can use a different kind of distance. Perhaps you have a yardstick or a basic ruler and you could use feet. You could just change the unit of measurement. But for this lab, I'm using a meter stick and we're looking at 10 meters. You will need a stopwatch to record and collect how long it takes each person to walk the 10 meters. So you can use a device that maybe you have on your own, or you can use your Chromebook and use the timer there. And of course, you need your walking feet so you can move. Finally, you need a data table so you can record our data for this lab. So in mine, you can see I have the walker. Derek is going to walk fast 3 times for 10 meters, and we're going to measure his time so we can determine his speed. He's also going to walk slow 3 times. We're going to measure his time so we can determine the speed. And then we're going to do the same thing all over again with me. All right, get your paper set up like this so you can do the same lab. First up, Derek is going to have 3 trials of walking fast at 10 meters. I'm going to time him and see how long it takes him to walk quickly 10 meters 3 separate times. Here he goes. So I recorded on the data sheet how long it took Derek each time he walked fast 10 meters. The first time it took 5 6/100 of a second. His second trial took 4 82/100 of a second. And the last time took him 4 48/100 of a second to walk the 10 meters. Now we can find the speed, because if we take the distance and divide it by the time, we can get the speed. Use a calculator or a calculator on your Chromebook to determine the speed. To find that, I'm going to take my distance, which was 10 meters, divide it by the time, and I can find the speed, which is meters per second. You can see Derek walked 1.98 meters per second, or 1 98/100 meters per second the first time. The second time he walked 2 7/100 meters per second. And the last one he walked 2 23/100 meters per second. Each time he walked at a different speed. Now we're going to do the same thing all over again with Derek, but he's going to walk at a slower pace, and we're going to see how that affects his speed. So So now I have 3 new times for Derek when he walked at a slow pace, that 10 meters. And I have those 3 times, and I am going to determine the speed now. And remember, to do that, I'm going to take my distance and divide it by the time. Ooh, I can see Derek's new speeds now. Looks like 1 32/100 of a meter per second. That was his speed the first time. 1 25 meters per second for his second trial, and 1 11 meters per second for his third trial. All right, I want to have my own turn at this. So we're going to go ahead and see. I want to know what my fast walk speed is. So I'm going to walk the 10 meters 3 times and record how long it takes me each time so we can determine the speed. Wow, I have a pretty cool walking song, don't I? All right, well, you can see how long it took me each time I walked the 10 meters on my 3 trials of walking fast. Now we're going to go ahead and determine the speed. So we're going to take our distance and divide it by the time to find the speed. All right, so I used the calculator and found the speed for each one of my trials. I have 1 54 meters per second for the first trial, 1 53 meters per second for the second trial, and 1 45 meters per second the second trial. Now we're going to go ahead and see what my speed is for the slow walk. I think my shoes were making a weird noise when I was walking. Sorry about that. Well, I already recorded my time for each one, and then I went ahead and I determined the speed by taking distance divided by time. So now I can see my speed and Derek's speeds when we're talking about fast and slow walking. Looks like Derek is a much faster walker than I am. I want to do one other thing so we can easily compare our results. I want to find the average of our speeds. To do this, I'm going to add up the 3 speeds for fast that Derek did, and then I'm going to divide that by 3 to find the average speed of Derek's fast walking. All right, I'm going to go ahead and add up Derek's first 3 walking speeds. And then I'm going to divide that number by 3 to find his walking speed average. So his walking speed average there is 2 900 of a meter per second. I'm going to use Derek's slow speeds to find the average speed of his slow walking. So remember, I'm going to add those 3 speeds up, divided by 3, and there you go. I've got 1 22, and then there's a whole bunch of 6s and a 7, so I'm going to round that up to 1 2300 of a meter per second for Derek's speed. All right, so now I can see his average speed when he was walking fast was 2 900 of a meter per second, and his average walking speed when he walked slowly was 1 23 meters per second. I'm going to find my walking speed average too. I can already tell Derek has a faster walking average than I do. When he walks fast, he walks at a rate of 2 900 of a meter per second. I only walk at a rate of 1 51 hundredths of a meter per second. He also walks faster when we walk slow. I wonder if I had other people do this, what their average walking speed is when they go fast and slow. Think about this too. Why is it better to give the actual speed of an object than to simply say it moved quickly or slowly? Is it because we're being more precise? So when you determine speed, you're finding your precise quickness or slowness, whichever it may be. Remember, it's not tough to determine speed. You just have to take the distance and divide it by time to get the speed. You can go out there and do the same lab, or you can try some other things like what's your speed on a bicycle, a scooter. What else can you think of? All right, that's all for me. Take care. Peace.